Hello, thank you for watching this video. Why do I call it non-weird cheap vegetarian meals? Well, this video is not for vegetarians who know how to cook. This is for people who have family members, kids, spouses, partners who aren't vegetarians and who might be kind of nervous about eating tofu and sprouts when they don't realize many of the meals they eat are already vegetarian. For example, if you have a nice pizza with peppers and onions and mushrooms, it's vegetarian. If you have breakfast, cereal, bananas, toast, glass of orange juice, that's vegetarian. If you have a plate of spaghetti without hamburger on it and you have a Caesar salad and garlic bread, that's vegetarian. So this is to help vegetarians who have partners or families, like I said, who aren't vegetarians, create inexpensive meatless meals that almost everyone will like and probably already like them. And they're also to help the newbie vegetarians or those who don't cook much get some ideas for easy to prepare vegetarian meals that cost around $1 to make. Now, even now, during this period of high inflation, uh, even though you may not get these prices, you may not get meals at $1 or so, you're still going to pay 25% less, 30% less, half of what you normally would if you go to the foodstampchallenge.com website, look at the smart shopping link, and learn how to shop and get most of the foods that you want for almost half price. So these are some of the dishes that we're going to go over. I won't read each one, and I'm not going to give the prices for each one because that would turn this into a 25-minute video. I've got 16 slides. I'm going to try and go through this quickly. I will give some of the price breakdowns for the first one so you kind of get the concept, but we'll go over a bunch of different types of egg dishes for breakfast with home fries, pancakes, waffles, French toast, milk, yogurt, etc. That'll be at the end, toward the end, a mix and match kind of breakfast. So don't forget, during this period of high inflation and high prices, the goal of these videos isn't to teach you how to make just $1 meals. It's to teach you how to make the meals for 25 to 50% less. So here's the first one. This is jambalaya, and I use baby carrots, whole baby carrots instead of meat. And that gives it a little bit of extra texture and flavor and vitamins and minerals. That is Martha White cornbread there, 99 cents per packet, just add water. That's a salad, that's 1/12 a head of an iceberg lettuce head with some salad dressing, and there is iced tea. But you can also do this. You can buy Zatarain's, you can buy Tony Sacher. Occasionally you'll see these boxes marked down, closeout or whatever. But you can do red beans and rice, you can do jambalaya, you can add your own veggies, and add these baby carrots to replace the meat. Now, with this, the jambalaya mix that I got was about 28 to 33 cents per serving, depending on where they were in my area. Baby carrots were about 11 cents per serving. The cornbread was 9 to 20 cents per piece, again, depending on if you went to Walmart, Aldi, Kroger, Publix. Milk was $1.77 for a half a gallon. It's now up to $2.99 a gallon. Then we have iced tea, anywhere from 5 to 7% for where you shop. My iceberg lettuce here was 17 cents. I think that was an eighth of a head, not a 12th of a head. And then salad dressing was about 10 cents. So you can add that up and see that this is a pretty big meal for around $1, $1.25. These are some veggie Tex-Mex meals I did. I'm actually going to do a Tex-Mex video to kind of cut down on this video. But here on the left I have enchiladas with black beans. On the right, upper right, I did a blog for Flat Out. I used one of their wraps. Those are refried beans. Avocados are expensive now, but it's rice, salsa, glass of iced tea. A friend of mine had me over, and we taught her son how to do some cooking. This is Mexican street corn, rubbed in some sour cream with some cojito cheese on it and some chili powder. And On the bottom right is something I just made. I took some bell peppers, some onions, and some carrots. I sautéed them in a pan with some cooking oil. Got them to caramelize. Got the sugars. Put some garlic, salt, pepper, cilantro, chili powder, and then I took a burrito and I sautéed it in the pan. And so it's a grilled stuffed burrito, and I've got some queso in there. I didn't even miss the meat. I've got refried beans and Spanish rice. But again, I'm gonna do a different video on Tex-Mex meals. Here is your basic pasta meal. This is a very cheap pasta. About 2 or 3 times a year, you can get Ronzoni or Muller's at Kroger for 49 cents a box. I have a salad there, a piece of day-old bread. You buy it, you bring it home, you put it on the counter, and the next day it's day old, or it's 2 or 3 days old. I keep it in the refrigerator for weeks. So there's garlic bread and a glass of milk. That is not a really great plate of pasta with your thick, chunky Prego or Ragu. This is a cheap 99 cent. I've even seen them 86 cents a can. Hunt's cans of tomato sauce, but still I can get a nice thick jar of Kroger's pasta sauce for 99 cents. So wait and stock up. On the right, that is a lasagna primavera with a garden salad. On the left, that's just macaroni and cheese, but I like to put onions and carrots and bell peppers in there, and then I toast some breadcrumbs, and that's a nice piece of mac and cheese, grown-up mac and cheese, and you can have some salad with that. Now, the lower right has some meatballs in it. I just am using this picture for something I did for another video. This whole plate was about $1.50. During this time of inflation, you can still have a 4-course meal for less than $2. I have soup, salad, I have the pasta with the sauce, I have garlic bread, I have a glass of iced tea, and ice cream. Again, this is if you get your pasta cheap for like 49 cents a box and your pasta sauce for 99 cents a jar. You can get cans of soup at Aldi and Kroger and Walmart anywhere from 50 to 65 cents. It's not the big chunky soup, but it's cream of tomato, cream of mushroom, cream of chicken. Recently, Kroger's been having sales, cans of soup for 50 cents each. So you get 2 servings there, you get 25-cent soup. Here are different pizzas. If you make your own pizza with flour and a little yeast and water, and then you use your cheap pasta sauce, you can make your own pizzas. The whole pizza is $1 and for a cheese pizza. And then you add your vegetables, whatever seasonal and cheap. Usually, I almost always find mushrooms on sale because they don't last long, and so they're constantly marked down. On the lower left, I have a pizza with canned tuna. I wouldn't serve that to friends until you've tried it yourself. It can be a little salty. On the bottom right, that is a half Italian pizza with pasta sauce and cheese and vegetables. On the right, that's a Mexican pizza. Instead of pasta sauce, I used refried beans. And then you can use picante sauce or salsa, and then your cheese and your vegetables. But you can, in the middle, I've got a deep dish pizza. And quite often, people will be fine with one piece of pizza, a salad, and a glass of drink. So making a pizza is a little bit of a production because you've got to roll the dough and you've got to wait for it to rise and all that. But this is for people who are struggling financially. And why these pizzas would cost you $7-8? I think Pizza Hut right now has a delivery special 3-topping pizza for $10 when you can make this yourself for less than $2. So people love pizza. Experiment with a deep dish pizza. Experiment with some thin crust pizza, and these are great menu options. Here are soup and sandwich combos. On the upper left hand, I have a grown-up grilled cheese sandwich with tomato soup, which most people like. But I put in some spinach, I put in 2 different kinds of cheese, I put in some mushrooms, some slivers, some sliced purple onions, and then some balsamic vinegar, and I grilled it, and it tastes great. You serve with a banana, a glass of milk. There's some carrots. In the upper right-hand side, you can do a soup and salad combo. That's a wedge salad. That is 1/4 of a head of iceberg lettuce, which is going to cost you now about 50 cents. Then you have your salad dressing, a roll, your soup, a glass of iced tea or soda. Don't forget that many people spend way too much money on drinks. You don't always have to have juice or soda or milk. At least once a day, either for lunch or dinner, have a glass of ice water. Bottom left, I've got a wrap. Again, this is not a health food video. This is a cheap eating vegetarian video. I love wraps if I can put some Thousand Island or ranch or Western dressing on them, and it really gives it a better flavor. In the middle, I have 2 English muffin pizzas. And this on the right is like an Italian sausage and pepper sandwich, but there's no sausage. This is sauteed bell peppers, onions, and I think I have mushrooms. And then I put in some spaghetti sauce and some provolone or mozzarella cheese, and I toasted the roll. I got 4 of these rolls for 99 cents. Again, at Kroger, there's always a complete rack of rolls and buns and loaves of breads that are on sale. So look for that stuff, freeze it. But this Italian sandwich right here, I put some Italian seasoning on here with garlic, salt, etc. This is a really great sandwich. And by the way, add a little Worcestershire sauce to your vegetables. That'll give it a little bit more of a meaty flavor. But again, people like soup and salad. They like grilled cheese with tomato soup. Wraps, if they get some dressing on them, are another one. Now, here is a French onion soup combo. This is a labor of love. This can take up to an hour to make. Cook's Country has a video, and I've got the link below. They show how to make French onion soup without the standing and stirring, but it takes about an hour to get your onions ready and get them caramelized. Martha Stewart has a video where you do it in 2 shifts. One, you do 20 minutes of getting your onions translucent, but you have to stand there. These can't char. And then you put your ingredients in, and then you do another 20 minutes. But once you make this, you will never buy a can of store-bought French onion soup again. This is unbelievable. People will beg you to make this once a week. It's a like I said, a labor of love, but you serve these really nicely caramelized onions with your vegetable broth, and you have your cheese and your croutons. This is a fabulous soup, but it takes a while. And then serve it with a salad and a glass of iced tea or water. This is something you might want to do on the weekends when you have some time, but it's a really fantastic meal. So this is an egg souffle that I do in the microwave. I crack 2 onions in a ramekin. I put in garlic, salt, pepper. I like tarragon. You can use milk or water, and whatever veggies you want. And you let it go for 45 seconds, and then you go in and you stir it up. Then you let it go for another 30 to 45 seconds, and it fluffs up, and you have a souffle. It's 2 eggs and some water and seasoning and whatever, or milk. And this is a really great meal. You can see in the middle I've got the souffle out of the ramekin on the plate. On the right, these are mini quiches. One has a crust on the left, one does not. I made these in mini muffin pans. But look at this meal on the left-hand side. This is why I say non-weird vegetarian meals. You have your scrambled eggs. They're coffee cup eggs in a microwave. You've got hash browns, toast with jam, juice. You don't really have to be a vegetarian to like this. Now, depending on the price of eggs, this meal, again, can be less than $1. Your slice of bread's a nickel. Even if your eggs are 10 cents a piece, that's 20 cents right there. Hash browns, buy fresh potatoes. A glass of orange juice, I always buy the frozen and add water. The peaches will be expensive depending on where you buy them, but depending on your budget, if everything else is cheap, why not go for it? So here are some mix and match breakfast ideas. Pick any four and you've got a great breakfast. I've got some bacon in there. That's from another video I made. But you can do eggs, you can do oatmeal, you can do grits, cold cereal, cottage cheese with some fruit. You look for these little yogurt cups. Quite often you'll see them marked down half price. You can get them for 20 cents each. They're normally 40 cents, but again, depending on where you shop. Um, so think about serving this for dinner too. Let's go back here. Look at that picture in the upper left-hand corner with the souffle, the hash browns, the toast, the juice. You could serve that for dinner. This is a lasagna primavera with garlic bread and a salad. I don't use any meat in here, and I'm not a vegetarian, but it's just almost too much of a hassle for me to do the sausage and the hamburger and all this. And on the right hand side, that looks a little dry. You might want to put a little bit more pasta sauce on that. But, you know, who is going to complain and say this is a vegetarian meal? You have lasagna, you have a salad, a Caesar salad, you have garlic bread, you have a glass of milk or a glass of wine, depending on your budget. Um, you know, you can do a plate of pasta, you know, with without the hamburger. You can use different shells. You can use penne. You can use bow ties, whatever you want. But this is, again, another inexpensive meal depending on how much you pay for your pasta. Now, this is a fun idea. You can serve a meal of Thanksgiving side dishes. I did this for a Thanksgiving video I did this year. I was able to get, believe it or not, turkey at like 47 cents a pound. But I stocked up on some of these things during the Thanksgiving holiday. Lidl had corn and cans of green beans for 25 cents a can, so about like 8 a piece. They had stuffing for 65 cents a box, so about 6 of those, and I'm set for the year. But if you're looking for a fun vegetarian dish, look at macaroni and cheese, cranberries, sweet potato pie, mashed potatoes. That's pumpkin pie, and that's a sweet potato casserole. Have a salad, a little bit of soup. That might be a fun vegetarian meal that people recognize. Stuffing, mashed potatoes, green bean. You can do the green bean casserole with the mushroom soup and the toasted onions. You can do glazed carrots with some brown sugar. Cranberries are pretty expensive. Wait for them to be on sale. Macaroni and cheese is incredibly cheap. Add some tarragon. It'll completely change the flavor of your mac and cheese and your eggs. That's one spice or herb you should invest in, I recommend. Now, Knorr's pasta sides are almost always on sale for $1 each, and then you can often find a coupon, buy 4, get 1 free, buy 5, get 1 free, and that lowers the cost of this to about 75 to 80 cents per packet, and you can feed 2 to 3 people if you fill it out with soup, salad, a piece of bread, and a glass of iced tea. You can see all the different options. They have fettuccine alfredo, parmesan, creamy pesto, creamy garlic. I've added some carrots to this one. You can fry up peppers, onions, mushrooms, and put that in there. If you want to put a can of tuna in here, that's another great way to stretch and get some more protein if you want to try that. Now here are some veggie stir fry, some Asian noodles. Again, the key here is add salt. Unless you've been diagnosed with hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes, unless a registered dietitian or a doctor has told you to stay away from salt, you don't have to. You need to have these vegetables get some flavor, and that comes from either salt, fat, or some kind of sauce. You can use hoisin sauce, you can use teriyaki sauce, you can use a General Tso's, you can buy all kinds of sauces. Some of them are going to be more expensive. Look for a generic bottle of teriyaki sauce or soy sauce. In the bottom right hand side, that's a video I have left over. It's got some meat in there, but you can see with an egg roll, wait for egg rolls to be on sale, and serve it with a glass of iced tea. If you're going to serve stir fries, they've got to have some kind of saltiness or sweetness, or somehow you've got to get some flavor in there. Um, it's not. It can't just be healthy. And if you add some rice, that's going to fill that out. But also add some nuts. Add some water chestnuts. Those give it some crunch and some more flavor. You can break an egg, kind of like you do with your fried rice, but experiment with stir fries that have some more flavor in them. Don't freak out about sodium. Here are some vegetarian chilies. My grandmother used to make that Cincinnati chili, or that spaghetti chili. And so I like red kidney beans. I like the spaghetti in there. That's a great way to make it heartier. Again, you're going to need some garlic salt in there. You're going to need some flavor. Um, um, if it has beans, technically it's not chili, but always experiment with chili before you serve it to family and friends, because it might just be watery if you're afraid to put salt in there or other seasonings or chili powder. Um, add some Worcestershire sauce to give it a little bit more of a meaty flavor. Um, uh, Soy sauce, but experiment until you get it just right, and then serve it to your family. And here at the end, here is a stuffed pepper. If you've ever had a veggie tray and you've bitten into a raw bell pepper, red pepper, or green pepper, they're a little bit savory and a little bit bitter, but they're fine. But when you put them in an oven, they soften and the sugars come out and they're really sweet. And people will want to eat that pepper. And this is stuffed with rice and vegetables, and you can bind it with an egg. Put some breadcrumbs in there, and then put some cheese and tomato sauce on the top of it. And this is a really good dish. And then on the right, that's 4 different baked beans that I went out and you buy the bags. They're very cheap. Don't buy cans. You can buy different kinds of beans, and then you soak them overnight, and then you use some brown sugar or molasses or dry mustard, a little bit of ketchup, and that's a really great meal right there with a piece of bread and a salad and a drink. So these are some ideas. I'm going to try and do a Tex-Mex one again later, but think about what foods your family and friends, what vegetarian foods they're already eating, and maybe kick them up a little bit, and you'll find that they'll be a lot more receptive to eating vegetarian. And don't forget, go to foodstampchallenge.com and click on what is smart shopping, and it'll show you. You don't have to join a shoppers club like like Sam's Club or Costco. You don't have to drive around to 4 different stores. You don't have to super coupon. Just using some smart shopping techniques, you can cut your food bill almost in half, depending on how many prepared foods and frozen foods you're buying. Or if you're just buying all generics, why pay $1.25 for a can of corn when you can get it for 60 cents? Cut your food costs by 50%. So, thank you for listening.